Kenny Pickett was the only quarterback drafted in the first round at pick 20. He's going to the Steelers. He played college at Pittsburgh, had 42 touchdowns, 7 interceptions in his final season, 4,300 yards, and completed 67% of his passes. The consensus around multiple scouts and analysts is that he is the most pro-ready quarterback. But there has been some chatter and some questions about whether he was the right pick over a guy like Malik Willis, who has a higher ceiling. Now, because of that, do you think that drafting Kenny Pickett was the right choice, or would you have liked to see the Steelers fill more needs?
So that too. John Mechie to the Texans.
I like it.
A bit earlier than I expected, but I remember watching Jameson Williams tape, and I'm like, damn, Mechie's kind of good.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it.
He is solid.
Kenny Pickett, we have a couple, we had Joey on the show a few months ago, who's a big Steelers fan. Our friend Jer as well, who's a big Steelers fan too. They wanted Malik. They're not speaking on the entire Steelers fan base, and Pittsburgh had their choice of Malik or Kenny Pickett. And leading up to the draft, during the Senior Bowl, the Combine, the Pro Days, it seemed like Mike Tomlin was just infatuated with Malik Willis, and I think a lot of people expect them to take Malik, and they ended up going with Kenny Pickett. Pickett was my quarterback 2 in this class, so I don't see it as this utter disgrace where they just completely bomb the pick. But I kind of look at this as being short-sighted. I think the Steelers look at this selection and wanted to get a guy that could help immediately. And I don't exactly agree with that because they signed Mitchell Trubisky, who I don't think is great by any means. I think he's a below-average quarterback, probably one of the bottom 5 to 7 quarterbacks in the NFL. But at least year 1, he's probably going to be better than Kenny Pickett. I mean, Pickett was a 5-year player at Pitt. He started for 4 seasons. He didn't break out to his super senior season at Pitt, and it took him a while to really get going. The seasons before that, his true senior season, he had 2,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. A pretty pedestrian season by any account. As long as you're a first-round prospect, you're usually putting up ridiculous numbers, which he did in 2021, putting up 4,300 yards, 42-7 touchdown interception ratio. So his final season, he was phenomenal, but you have to remember, he's 23, going against guys that are 18 to 20 years old. I mean, he's just far more developed in terms of physically and mentally. He's been in this program for 5 seasons now, so it's not shocking that he went out and dominated at Pitt. I just think I would have taken Malik because you could have Mitch Trubisky start for a season.
100%.
You could suck. You could get a top 10 pick, get another player who could come and contribute right away. And then you have Malik sitting for that entire season. He comes in year 2, and I think he gives you more upside than Kenny Pickett. I think physically he's better. Obviously, I'm not really infatuated with the whole hand size thing. I don't think that's a deal breaker per se because he's double jointed.
And he already played in Pittsburgh and was efficient.
And so he's double jointed, so his hands don't stretch like a normal person's hands do. It's not exactly fair to compare it. But Pickett, in terms of his traits, he's a really good down-the-field passer, completing over 50% of his deep passes. I think he's really calm in the pocket, but can struggle at times when he faces blitzes and just generally under pressure. He has great ball placement. He can make off-platform throws as well, throws with great anticipation. So he has traits there that you could definitely work with, but I personally just would have went with a higher upside guy, especially because you have a bridge quarterback in place with Mitch Trubisky.
You want me to go?
Yes.
I'll tell you what, I feel very similarly. Where you bring in Mitch now to be that bridge quarterback like you mentioned, to transfer you over to your next quarterback. You take the guy with the higher ceiling in Malik Willis. Kenny Pickett at 24, my concerns I stated before the draft. Let's say he comes in now and he gets drafted by a team that has a quarterback and he has to wait a couple seasons. How old is Kenny Pickett going to be when he makes a start? He could
24?
start this season, right? He's 24 right now. Let's say that Trubisky comes in and he plays well to start.
He turns 24 in June.
Okay. So it's probably looking at 25, potentially 26. He was a first-round quarterback, yes. But if Trubisky can play well and show that he has taken strides in his game, is better than what he showed in his time in Chicago, where he showed some flashes, but for majority was not great. If Trubisky plays well, this is a wasted pick. Where at least with Willis, he can come in. It could be a
but
wasted
Trubisky's
pick.
not your
franchise.
I'm not disagreeing.
Malik Willis turns 23 in a month.
Okay, so he's 22 right now.
So Kenny Pickett and him, they're a year apart.
But my only concern here is
Pickett is 23, turns 24 in June.
I like the higher ceiling, and I like that possibility of Malik Willis coming in and really being a game changer. He showed that he can be a dynamic quarterback in terms of using his legs and being able to make tacklers miss. Was one of the I think he was the league leader in broken tackles last season, or missed tackles forced. He has those abilities. It's just a matter of whether he can be an accurate passer. He has the arm clear as day. He has the strongest arm in this draft. I think that is a little bit risky to go with Pickett. I think I would have gone Willis for sure, but time will tell.
This is a bit easy for me just giving my analysis on this because oftentimes we don't talk about it enough. We don't talk about the business side of football enough. Kenny Pickett to the Steelers is a PR marketing dream. He's from Pittsburgh. Every single fan in Pittsburgh, Steelers, they wanted Kenny Pickett. That's who they want. This guy is going to sell out jerseys, and
you think so?
I think he is.
Pittsburgh's,
I think
Pittsburgh fans.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
And not only that, but Kenny Pickett, to most analysts and scouts, is the most pro-ready quarterback in this draft. Can start right away, and he has a higher floor than most. He has a higher floor than all these quarterbacks. His floor is the highest amongst all these quarterbacks. That's why I'm not downing this pick. When we talk about the draft, we often talk about potential so much, especially when we talk about the quarterback position. Now, I just had this idea in my head because there have been so many quarterbacks that have come into the draft cycle and everybody salivates over their potential. Look at his arm strength. Look at this mobility. Look at how he does this. He can be a star. Quarterbacks in general don't hit. Quarterbacks that you take over a guy that is clearly better because of the potential factor usually don't hit sometimes as well. Now, everybody is salivating over Malik Willis's potential when he's probably going to be Ryan Mallett.
Jesus.
Is that so crazy to say?
Well, when the Lions take Malik Willis right now and they become one of the better offenses in the league, we'll see.
The only disagreement I have is teams look for traits.
Ryan Mallett had the traits.
I understand, but the whole potential thing, like teams are going to look for potential in terms they're looking for traits, looking for the big arm, looking for mobility.
But traits is also reading defenses, scanning the field.
His issue is his ability to get the ball out on time. He hesitates a little bit too much.
Malik also is not accurate. He completes 61% of his passes.
No, definitely.
But we agree, none of these quarterbacks we love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you.
So, like, if you take Kenny Pickett and he's okay, if Malik is Ryan Mallett, what's Kenny Pickett?
Like, I would have used
Jared Goff.
Was Kenny? Who was your Taysom Hill comp? Who was it again?
Oh, it was
Kenny Pickett, right?
Taysom Hill's better than Ryan Mallett.
Yeah,
should they
he's
not
in the
have
NFL because of Sean Payton?
They should have 100% gone offensive line.
But they built it up in the offseason. They signed a few guys.
You would rather still protect it for the future.
Malik Willis, this take might age badly in a minute because the Lions are on the clock. I think Malik Willis, Desmond Ridder goes before him. Desmond Ridder, I think the line he's probably going to be.
I think that's going to fuel Malik.
Crazy.
Malik has that like character and that
he does, man.
moxie that he's like, all right, I'll eat that and I'll keep
he's
it pushing.
A cool dude.
That's why I'm hesitating over. I'm hesitating.
Oh my god.
I'm hesitating over tweeting the Ryan Mallett thing.
No, that's ridiculous, bro.
It's not ridiculous.
Just don't.
It's
please
really
don't
not.
tweet it, please.
It's not ridiculous. Why do you think it's ridiculous?
It would be the third ridiculous thing you've said on this show.
You think it's just ridiculous because you think Malik Willis is somehow going to be a star.
I don't think Malik was. I just said I'm down all the quarterbacks. Ryan Mallett was bad. He's not good.
No, he was very talented, and he had a stretch with the Texans where he was good. Actually,
bro,
he had like a couple game stretch where he was okay.
What, 2?
Yeah, but
sick.
What I'm saying,
games.
But
so did Sam Darnold.
But out of Arkansas, he was like the strongest arm in the draft.
I'm not down the prospects.
He had the traits.
I'm not down the prospects.
I'm just saying, traits aren't everything, bro.
But I know, but teams
and
look at traits.
And he was better in college than Malik Willis.
Teams look at traits
too.
Yeah, Malik numbers wise was not incredibly impressive by any means.
At all, he was below average.
But Kenny Pickett, it just bothers me that it took him his 5th year. They passed on him.
I'm telling you,
Josh
like
Pascal.
everybody is exactly. They're not even looking at Malik because
the NFL's telling us what they think of Malik.
Yeah, they don't think he's going to be that great of a player.
I'm fuming.
But it only takes one. If the Steelers pass on Pickett, who knows? He could be here too.
But watching Malik on film, you're like, there's a lot of red flags, bro.
I know, but you also have the traits that teams are going to look at and be like, we could fix this.
Yes, and that's
not
how
saying
you end
it's
up
right
with,
or wrong.
That's how you end up with Ryan Mallett.
Not saying it's right or wrong.
This rumor of Malik going to just looks ridiculous.
Also, just to add these quotes before we move on to the next segment, Kevin Colbert said Kenny is just a mature, even-keeled guy when we're studying the quarterbacks, we not only watch them on the field, but we watch them off the field when they come off and how they are with teammates. How do they interact with their coaches? How do they conduct media interviews? We feel that the maturity that he displayed on and off the field will help him in that endeavor. Tomlin said this: we talked about his high floor, and the high floor was because of the intangibles, but also the anticipation and the pro accuracy were very obvious and consistent when studying his tape. It was a good thing for him to come back and go to school and get another year of college experience. He is 24 years old. He is a mature young man. You do see maturity in his game, and I think all of those things are going to put him in a position to compete. So,
Kyle Linderbaum, I would have gone.
Malik doesn't have any character concerns either.
Kenny Pickett,
he has no character concerns. He's great
for
off
sure.
the field.
Look, I think Malik Willis is a great guy. I'm just speaking on the film.
I know. Bro. I don't think. But you're acting like you're acting like Malik Willis is a top 10 player to me. He's not.
I never said that, but I'm just saying.
You told me I said he was going to be a star.
That is what you said.
I was just assuming. But let's just be honest here.
Stop assuming.
Was Malik your QB1?
He was.
Yes,
he was.
Off potential.
He was all of our QBs.
But I don't like any of his QBs.
Neither do I.
I am just saying. Let me finish. Damn. Let me finish.
Oh, now he doesn't like it.
Unbelievable.
Malik Willis. You do it to me all the time.
What are you talking about?
Stop that. I don't want to hear.
What are you talking about?
Stop that. Malik Willis. The film says that he's not a day one guy, bro.
I understand.
He's not a first round pick. The film says he's not.
Kenny Pickett took till year 5 where he's 3 years older than all these guys.
42 picks and 42 touchdowns and 7 picks.
I know what you're saying.
That is at least end of round 1.
I know what you're saying, but
projection.
Let me know if you agree or disagree. Would you rather hit on an average quarterback or miss on a bad quarterback?
Do you think Kenny Pickett can be as good as Baker Mayfield?
No.
That's not a high ceiling to hit.
No, it's not.
Answer the question because you know it's a yes. That's why you're taking long. I think he can be as good as Baker.
I mean, you're the one that likes Baker, don't you?
I like Baker.
Would you rather
Kenny Pickett?
So you like Kenny now?
Would you guys?
He's got some moxie to him.
Answer this question. Would you guys rather hit on an average quarterback or miss or just bust on a quarterback?
Bust.
Oh, Jesus. Or just miss on a quarterback?
I'll give you another scenario. Would you rather hit on an average quarterback or swing and miss completely on a guy who has the high upside, but he can never even start a game in the NFL because he just can't. He's not good.
But when you miss, at least you know you miss, and you have to move on to the next guy. When you hit on these average guys like a Daniel Jones, who I think is below average, you continue to put him out there. This is year 4 of Daniel Jones, instead of year 2. No Josh Rosen, he's a complete miss. Now we got Kyler. Now, obviously, they got lucky. They ended up having number 1 pick. It doesn't happen all the time. But when you miss on these quarterbacks, you could right away go, okay, we need a new quarterback. Let's get in here. Instead of being stuck in this quarterback purgatory where you have a guy who's decent, but he's not great, but he's not terrible. He's going to win enough games, but you're not going to have a top 5 pick. So I'd rather just swing for the fences on Malik and you miss because it's not like Kenny Pickett's not going to be a top 10 guy. He's not going to be a top 10 quarterback.
Okay, I'm not totally disagreeing with you, but there's always a risk to that. And there are some players where the risk is warranted. With Malik on film, it doesn't feel like the risk is warranted with that. It just that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. He has traits. He has the big arm. He's mobile.
He's got a huge arm.
I'm gonna tweet
needs
this
to be accurate.
Are you gonna do the Ryan Mallett tweet,
Let's
bro?
get people mad.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna do numbers. Just
Let's get people mad.
You just said Ryan Mallett, who nobody's heard in like 15 years. I mean, he was in the league like 4 years ago, but regardless.
It's similar though. Traits are similar. You can't lie about that
Did
one.
Ryan Mallett have a huge arm?
His arm was incredible. So just search up some YouTube highlights real quick and look at it.
I'm just gonna go with his stats.
There's nothing I would want to do.
I don't want to
look at Ryan Mallett highlights. Nothing I want to do less.
Please, no, trust me. Just look at one big time throw.
Look
at
not.
one big time throw.
No,
I believe you, bro. I believe you.
No,
Drew, please.
Just look at one big time throw, please. Just look at one big time throw.
So you'd rather have Ryan Mallett than Taysom Hill is what you're telling me?
No, I'd rather have Taysom Hill.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Kenny Pickett. Taysom
I'd rather have Taysom Hill than Ryan Mallett.
Dude, Ryan Mallett stinks.
Bro, look at his college
said
stats.
He had 2 good games.
No, he did. Bro, Brett Coleman made a video about Ryan Mallett could be the Texans franchise quarterback.
You think he regrets that? Bro started 8 games. Oh, no, never mind. Sorry.
He played with D-Hop.
Played 21 games, but he's a 3-5 record.
He went to Clemson?
No, he went to Arkansas. He played with D-Hop in Houston.
That's what I was like, what?
He went to Houston. He got traded to Houston after New England.
2015, 1,300 yards. Oh, just kidding. I was looking at 2. That was his touchdown percentage. He had 6 interceptions, 5 touchdowns. Dude, this guy sucks.
Yeah, he's mid.
Bro, but he had the traits.
I can't believe I'm looking at Ryan Mallett stats. Where he was second round pick?
He was a third string quarterback on the Patriots.
Somebody just replied, this is either going to be an accurate or horrendous take.
Ryan Mallett was a third round pick. 6'6", 240. He was a big fella.
Yeah, 6'6", 240, strong, very strong arm. Like, he had the traits, bro. But I'm saying it doesn't always matter
I know
that much. Like, last year's draft in 2021, like, Trey Lance had the traits, but he also had 28 touchdowns, 0 picks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
Like, he had that. Like, Fields had the production with the traits. So, those are warranted.
But even Pickett has 1 year of production, and
No,
it was
I know
his
what you mean.
fifth season.
Joe Burrow, too, though.
But he was also on the
I'm not
greatest.
saying-
But he was on the. He
Joe
is
Burrow
the
is
leader
the-
of the greatest
Joe
college
Burrow's a
football
different
team of all
prospect, though.
time.
Burrow's a different prospect.
You can. Yeah, I know. I love Joe Burrow. You know how much I love
I
Joe Burrow. You can say that, but also the knock on Joe Burrow was he had the talent, and he was carried by that talent.
He wasn't carried.
I know he wasn't carried, but that
No
was
one
the,
should say that.
That was the
He's-
knock on
he was
him.
won
one
the
who sparked
Heisman.
it.
Correct.
Yeah,
Even though he's like, I love
He
Joe
was
Burrow.
all world.
But I'm just saying, just because you just have 1 year production,
hard to
Zach
not
Wilson
like
only
Joe
has
Burrow.
1 year production.
I know.
We're not gonna hold
But
that
Zach
against
Wilson's
him.
a better prospect.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm not mad at the Steelers for going with the safer quarterback. I'm not.
That's
I'm
not the end of the world. He's my quarterback too. I'm not distraught.
I told you I'd go Desmond Ridder over Malik.
I need to see where Sam
Looking
goes,
at these
man.
these upcoming picks, the Bears aren't taking quarterback, but we have
No.
the Saints at 49, right? 49,
Yep,
yeah.
The
49.
Saints, we were talking about them taking him in the first round.
Yeah, the Colts at 53, and then Falcons at 58, Vikings at 59. This could be third round quarterbacks.